This is your cue to change for the better. All right? If no one's told you this before, I'm going to give it to you straight right now, okay? All right. So, in this video, we're going to talk about a couple things. First of all, we have that's my Spotify playlist. You can go back and clip that if you want and see what I listen to. But all right, so check it out. Necessity is the mother of invention, okay? So, I need to tell you this right now. Things don't change. Typically, things don't change unless they have to. All right. And when you consider an invention, a furthering of society and technology, it probably wouldn't come ever unless there was a need for it. And that's really what this quote is saying. Ironically, you can apply this to the philosophical age back here too. Plato himself said it first, right? So I just want to touch on a couple topics that are similar to this. I'll even take the glasses off for you. An invention, a necessary invention. But so I just want to say, I consider this. Why does a lobster shed its shell? So lobsters, their shells are like their defense mechanism. It's going to keep them alive and predation. Animals aren't going to be able to, devour them as easily as they normally would. And they need it to survive. And we all have our defense mechanisms that we need to survive. Now, the only reason a lobster ever sheds its shell is because it grows. That old shell that it had just wasn't big enough, so it has to literally get rid of it and grow a new one. Unlike a mammal who just can grow their skin. And I'm sorry, I know it sounds cringe. Like they literally that thing can't grow, the chitin. They have to throw it out and get a new one. And something I've always considered in my life would be akin to living in a small barracks room, and I was very comfortable with that. I was very thankful to have a small barracks room of my own, And after a while, though, it just wasn't big enough anymore, and I had to grow into a larger lobster shell, I guess you could say, right? So that's kind of the point I'm making here. And I bet you are living in not necessarily a small shell, but I really want you to consider, are you ready to get rid of your shell, and do you need to at least? Because, they said, what is it? So here's my thing. I say don't wait till you have to change, right? Because it would probably be pretty painful to try to keep growing while you're in that small shell, I have a little notepad right next to me here because I'm trying to take out some of the small spaces where I'm just like. So check it out. There's that one. We're doing good on time, 2:42. All right, so here's another thing I want to talk about in relation to change. This fella, Robin Sharma, he's an author. He wrote quite a few books, right? And this is my favorite quote from him, okay? If people aren't laughing at your dreams aren't big enough. Now, I'm not saying everybody needs to have, not everybody can be the Bill Gates, there is a place for everybody in this world. And I think that this can be taken on a small scale or a large scale. And only you understand how much you can grow. Or if you don't understand, just know that you can grow at least a little bit. And I think this really sums up how a lot of people don't want to see you change for the better. And I'm sure you can think of a time in your life where you can equate what I'm saying here. Because people are going to laugh at your dreams. Here's a good thing. Say you were a middle-level manager and you said, I want to be an upper-level manager. They'd probably be like, yeah, well, you could do it. But if you were a middle-level manager or you were standard in-the-door employee and you said, I want to own this company one day, and you were serious about it and you were willing to change because that's the change you feel as though you need and you want for the future that you want, they'd laugh at you. They would. And that's the truth. Because maybe they're laughing at you because they recognize they don't have it in them. But if you feel like you have it in you, you need to go ahead and own the company, or at least own your own company. Don't work for them anymore. Figure out how you can do what the manager does, or, what the CEO is not doing. Figure out what you could do even better. I know money's a thing, obviously. This is just a hypothetical thing. Like I always say, these videos aren't going to be perfect. To me, they are, though. So this is one of my favorite things ever. I could have swore somebody else said it, but I couldn't find that link. Maybe they just mentioned it in a reel I saw. Everybody knows. You see a million Instagram reels a day. Probably saw this one years ago or whatnot. But check this one out. I love this. The pain that comes with action is acute, scars you and makes you grow. The pain that comes from inaction is low grade, softens you and decays your soul. No one escapes the pain, so why not choose the one where you get to grow? Now, I equate this to something very specific in my life, which was of benefit to me, but there was a point in my life where I let somebody basically dictate my future. I thought, this is a hard decision and I don't want to make it. It was a very important job. And I let them choose for me my future. And it wasn't until, this is a slow grade. Yeah, like how it says on here, low grade softens you and decays your soul. Sometimes I think back, if I would have just chose for myself and like had conviction in that change and not making somebody, letting somebody change me, then I don't think I would have been in this situation. I don't think I would. I would think I'd be a lot better off. That's the best way to put it. Not to say I'm in a bad situation. I'm in a good situation. I promise. It's okay. I wrote on here. It's easy to let people make choices for you as long as you're okay with the results of that decision. And I'm sure a lot of people are very comfortable with other people making decisions for them because decisions are hard to make. You have to leave your comfort zone, and most people are just like, nah, I guess I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. This is fine. This is fine enough. I like the car that I drive, and that's okay. It's okay to be it's okay to be average. I'm not saying to be like the best ever, but I think there literally is let's see. I didn't look this one up, but I'm going to do it. Asian proverb about being average. Well, I could have swore there was one. Let's see if I can find it in images. I like this, though. A wise man makes his own decisions, an ignorant man follows public opinion. That literally sums up exactly what I'm trying to say here. It's not really relevant. I like this one. When I walk along with two others, from at least one, I will be able to learn. That's not relevant to what the video is about either, but it's kind of a nice quote. I'm sure you can agree. So let's see if I have anything else here. But, I really just wanted to tell you, sometimes I really think that you need somebody to tell you, I'm making these videos sometimes about things that I wish people would have told me, and there's a lot of that, and in hindsight, it's like, if somebody would have told me that when I was 18, you know what I mean? I probably would have made a different decision. And, you might not listen to this stuff, and that's okay because you have to figure it out on your own. But I think a call to change, it's here. I'll end you with, a piece of personal poetry, kind of like I was thinking about this when I was downstairs looking out at the sky, and I was just trying to come up with ideas for this video. But what we see as the sun is constant. We think, yeah, it's always there. It's always gonna be there. But what we really know is stars change, they have an entire life cycle. But, it's inevitable. Even change is inevitable. Even things that you think will never change are always going to change somehow. It's literally like a law of the universe, in my opinion. So I just want to let you know that I think you need to embrace it. Don't let change happen to you, and what they say, prior preparation prevents poor performance. So there you go. There's a lot of P's today. But there you go. That's it. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you for sticking around, and I'll see you in the next one.